by Mr. Frank Nelson regarding the Glowing Hearts Community Give and Get. There is some additional material on council additions regarding this, but Councillor Prince, I know you had invited Mr. Nelson here, and I'd like to invite you to introduce the presentation. So would you like to make some comments? Absolutely, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship and members of council, and for those ladies and gentlemen in the audience tonight. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing a truly remarkable individual. Someone who has put the community's needs in front of their own. Someone who is without a doubt making Barrie better. In 2010, this individual was diagnosed with cancer. As we all know, a cancer diagnosis can affect much more than the physical body. It can affect emotions, it can affect relationships, not only the relationships with your friends and family, but with the relationship with yourself. This individual at that time was now faced with that reality. He went on his day-to-day doing what he had to do to fight this disease. But it wasn't until 2013 when he got the news that the cancer was terminal. Like many, learning this news, he started to do some soul searching. I spoke to Frank earlier today, and I asked him what motivated him on being focused on his diagnosis, to turning that around, taking a back seat, and starting to be focused on what he can do to the community. He told me the following story, that he was watching Ellen DeGeneres one day. And for many of you that watch that show, you may see her sometimes giving out $10,000 to individuals, giving away cars to help people out. There was one episode where a homeless man had returned that she had helped. This homeless man had gone on, he had opened up a successful restaurant, and every Monday night he closed that restaurant, but he reopened it for the homeless to get some food. You see, where many people would have seen that episode and thought to themselves, I can't help, I can't give out $10,000 to a single person. I can't give out a new car. Frank said, what can I do? Shortly thereafter, he sat down with his family and he laid out a bucket list. With the love and support from his family, he determined how he was going to start making changes. He started the Paying Back Initiative, where he gives out $1,000 at a time. I must say that he's currently given out 43 gifts to individuals and families in need, and will, without a doubt, reach his initial goal of 50 gifts. Now, the unique part about him is you would think he would put his efforts into helping those who are battling cancer, as he has. But to him, it doesn't matter if you're a single mother with struggling kids, if you're homeless or on the brink of poverty, or if you're fighting cancer, Frank is there to help. The other day I was looking through some pictures with my darling daughter Diaz, and we were going through a few photos, and there was a picture of Frank and I believe it was at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was a fundraiser. And my daughter said to me, Daddy, Daddy, who's that man? And I quickly turned to her and I said, that's who I want to be when I grow up. Now, initially, it was a comment that I made half joking. But that evening, I started to think of why I said what I said. And it was in that moment that I realized the true impact of this individual. Not only was he giving back to the community, but his real influence is that he makes people want to be better, and in turn, they want to give back to the community in their own way. Your Worship, members of council, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I would like to welcome down to the podium a true local hero, Mr. Frank Nelson.
Thank you so very much.
Welcome to City Council. Oh, sorry. I'll let you go ahead.
First of all, let me say thank you to Councillor Prince for the very kind words. I think you covered 3/4 of what I was going to say today, so I appreciate that. Good evening, Mayor Lehman, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I believe that everyone in our community, not just the politicians, have a responsibility to do what they can to help others in need. I've had the privilege of meeting many of you that have come out and supported my events over the past few years. So you know that my greatest challenge today will be to stop talking in 10 minutes. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Frank Nelson.